Hi everyone, welcome back to Spiritual Growth Tarot. I'm Denise, and today I'm using the Morgan Greer Tarot, which is quite a bit like the Rider-Waite, but it reminds me of my dear friend over at Foolish Tarot. I'm giving her a big shout out. She uses this deck often. She calls it Morgan. She named it Morgan. I love that. Anyway, this reading is for Thursday, July 1st. First day of July's here already, my goodness. Okay, so aligning with the laws of love and truth and wisdom. I got my chopsticks over here. And I'm asking for my guides to guide me to the right cards to let me know, let us know whatever it is that we need to work on to evolve to a higher level, to evolve to a higher level so that to clear out anything that could be distorting our divine rays. You know, fear distorts our divine rays. So what, these fears, what could they be? A fear of feeling happy? Maybe our parents didn't role model that as being possible. Maybe we're afraid of going for what we want. Maybe our parents were controlling. Maybe we're afraid of trusting our own spontaneous, real self to come through. Like, do we reject ourselves anywhere? Like believing that we don't have enough value? Or do we hide because we think we're too much? Like what are all those things that need to clear out of the soul? Okay. Thursday, July 1st. Three of Pentacles reversed. The Emperor reversed. And the Five of Cups. Okay. So with the Emperor reversed, this has to do, well, let me bring it straight up so we can see the image. It's pretty cool. Guys either got an awesome six-pack there, or it's quite a shield. But, has the Staff of Life with the Ankh symbol up there. Yeah, it's a really cool throne there. I haven't used these cards in so long, I forgot. Yeah. Oftentimes, the Emperor has ram heads around him. This one, he's got, I don't know if it's an eagle or a hawk, but it's pretty cool. So the Emperor, of course, is all about being in your authority. Now, when it's reversed, there's an issue with being in our authority. So maybe we grew up in a home that was abusive in some way. And, neglect is a form of abuse. Most people don't realize that. If you're my age, late 60s, we all grew up where we could be spanked at school and we could get spanked at home, and that they thought that was discipline. Well, all that really does is teach a person to not trust adults. But they didn't know any better. They weren't raised that way either. So we can't blame them. We just have to teach them, as we grow up, if we can, if they're still around. I know I taught my parents a lot before they crossed over, as much as I could, as much as I had the courage to at the time. Now it would be completely different, but anyway, we did the best we can with what we have, and they did the best they could with what they had, and you can bet that it was way worse for them than it was for us. But this can sometimes be, with the Emperor reversed, we're in the area of having a cold father, somebody who didn't hug, didn't show physical contact. And if it wasn't a father, it would have been a very strong caretaker, male or female. It would be somebody who asserted their authority in a way that was very rigid, and, so somebody who just wasn't very flexible, because that's that's the way it is when we're dealing with, the Emperor reverse. It's usually the father card, as is the Empress is the mother card. But when it's reversed, these are at the worst. These are the autocratic dictators. These are people who are very oppressive and immature. Sometimes fraudsters. This would be a Donald Trump card for me. People who don't use their power in the right way. And I always feel like life on Earth is a power management issue, and this card is telling me all about that. That's the thing, is how do we use our power? And then with the Three of Pentacles, this is about work, and it's about joining forces and having good teamwork. In the traditional Rider-Waite, there's three people, and one of them's looks like an architect, and the other looks like someone who's going to do the work, and the other one could be a designer of another type, or maybe could be the owner of the building, And this does look like a church. But anyway, reversed, could be a church, or even, like my friend Debbie noticed yesterday on our live stream, or on her live stream that I join her with every Sunday, this card came through for someone, and she thought, oh yeah, it's a museum, and he was wondering if he was going to get the job at at a museum. So the answer is yeah, because it's work at a museum. So, but anyway, reversed, it's not work, and it's not skill, and it's not organized, and there's no motivation, and there's some lack of growth because of the fact that there's no motivation. So to me, this brings through that message of needing to grieve our past. Yes, we still have two upright cups over here, and we do at some point need to turn around and notice what we still have. But this is about honoring the grieving process. The Five of Cups is always some place where we're either grieving a loss of, this could be a loss of a father, even though they were not, even though they were not very flexible and cool with us. And it might have kept us kind of dwarfed in the place where, finding work is challenging, and finding your own ability to create, in the material realm for yourself can be dwarfed when we have fathers like that. It can be sometimes, and then other times it pushes us to excel. Because if you don't get the love, you're going to go for approval. That's just how it works. It's one or the other, And then some kids don't get either, and we just kind of give up. That happens too sometimes. So, but anyway, if it's not grieving the loss of a parent who was like that, it can be just feeling unloved. So like I said, what do we do when we're feeling unloved? What do we do to try to maintain any connection? Because as children, we have to maintain some type of a connection in order to survive. And sometimes that's still playing out if we haven't grieved for our childhoods. Like maybe some of us had childhoods where we felt like we weren't part of the team, like we were very different. And Dad wasn't home because he was just out trying to make a living all the time. And maybe Mom was grieving because she was lonely and stuck at home, like raising us kids kind of thing. That can be a very uncomfortable, sad atmosphere at home that we magnetize into our soul substance as little ones, and then we have to clear it out as adults and shift everything so that it works for us in our own present reality. But the important piece here is just to not repress the real needs for love and connection and pleasure. Because to do that would be staying stuck in the conflict that we had with our parents and in our family environment. And then another thing is to remember that any dynamic that's still going on in our present life, it's based it's really based in our past with our parents or our home life, whoever took care of us at home, even if we grew up in an orphanage, whatever that was like, we have to honor it, feel the pain and grieve, and then turn around and take what we have and make a new life for ourselves. And then from there, we come into our own authority. And from there, we will have worked on so much that we can create our own teamwork. We can be competent in the world, and we can plan out our own life. This card is so much, when it's upright, about planning and learning. But on another level, it's about commitment and dedication. It's a Mars in Capricorn card. So it's about committing and being dedicated to yourself, to be in your own authority. And that can't come through until you grieve the past. That's just the way life works. We have to meet all the feelings that hold us back. The feelings that have us feeling like we don't have anything to offer. Because maybe our parents didn't encourage us in any way. Maybe our parents, maybe if you're stuck at home with a parent who feels worthless and the other one's gone making a living, and then when they get together, they're not getting along well. That's a very sad situation for children to be in. So that would be one of the things to turn around if that was your situation. But anyway, regardless, the way through to get back into your authority is always to feel the pain, and question the false beliefs that that you may have gleaned from your parents. Again, like I said, maybe your parents role modeled to you that happiness isn't possible. And then it makes us afraid to go for what we want, That would be the case with this Emperor reversed and Three of Pentacles reversed. And fear of trusting your own instincts. The Emperor straight up, this guy, and most of all the wands, there's a lot of instincts, like tuned into your spirit and knowing which way to go at any given time. So I think these cards have to do with healing the past, brings in a deeper level of self-worth. And then you can go for what you want. And if you can dedicate yourself to that, to being in your own authority in the midst of all the challenging, childhoods that we've lived through, then we're doing the best we can. That would be the best we can. So, yeah. So grieving and honoring our real needs for love and comfort and safety and connection and to be seen and heard and understood, it's all right here with these cards. And if we can do that, then, then we'll have our creative self-expression. So just to dedicate yourself to your own creative self-expression. But grieve along the way. When you have those memories of how it was in your childhood, just grieve. It's okay. The grief will set you free at some point. Okay, well, that's all I have for today. Thanks, you guys. Take good care. Bye.